The following program is rated A for being awesome. Ha! Who are we kidding? This show is crude and probably shouldn't be watched by anyone. But it's too late now. You're here and this ride is already underway, so enjoy it, and remember, we do not offer refunds. And as usual, don't forget this is a live show, so send us your comments and let your voice be heard, and don't forget to share and like everything you see.
So I have a feeling this might be part of an app.
Buy it anyway, so
We don't going to buy it anyways because, well, I don't know. It depends. Because my next big Kickstarter purchase is going to be the He-Man board game. So if anything comes out around that, fuck it. I'm done.
Speaking of the He-Man board game, there's also going to be Legends of the Heroes of the Universe role-playing game coming out soon.
Yeah, the He-Man role-playing game, which I may pick up, but I have the
only one. I'm picking it up.
Well, I'll just let you pick it up, and then we can play it all together, because I will totally play an Orko character and just be badass. I like how everyone's quiet. They're like, what? No, it has to be Nightmare Chess. Where you use the Nightmare Chess cards to play, then that can be fun. Because it can be like a weird game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And chess. You're like, I laid my trap card down. You're like, ha ha ha. And everyone has to have the weird hair. Like, I would totally do chess now.
they were so focused on if they could do it, they didn't stop to think if they should do it.
They should do it!
It's like Burger King's weird mac and cheese Cheeto thing.
I don't care.
Bro, when you look at the Attack on Titan porn parody Titans, they look better.
How do you make them look better? They don't have genitals.
They do in the porn parody version.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Fanservice. Yay, we're back after a week off. Welcome to your weekly geek-fueled trip into the world of pop culture. I'm your host, Gavin, joined by my lovely co-host, Harley.
I was here last week. I talked about stuff. I don't know about you dicks. I'm Pocky.
So, yeah, so things happen before camera rolls, and you guys have to forgive me if I cough. I've got a cough going. I don't know what it is.
But not COVID cough. We're going to kill that rumor now.
Yeah, well, we're all isolated, so it doesn't really matter. So,
we're not in an actual studio.
Before we were live, Harley was running late because I guess she forgot it was Wednesday.
I was in the middle of a Mythic Plus raid.
I knew it. I called it, Pocky, didn't I?
Yeah. No. I was like, but I wasn't even disagreeing with you on it. I was like, yeah, no, she played well.
Cassandra's like, yeah, she was playing WoW.
I got a new computer, so of course I'm playing WoW. I got suckered into it.
But then, she had something on her head. Explain this to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know this
was
I see it.
This is an Inuyasha action figure, or what you think is an Inuyasha action figure. He actually has really sharp, pointy claws, which is nice. I paid $60 and had him shipped from Japan. But he sits on top of your cup of ramen, and he holds the paper lid down, and he just kind of like chills there. He like perches perfectly on my cups and stuff. So yeah, he's made to hold the paper lid on the cup of ramen, and his sword comes out, so you don't break a nail trying to peel up the paper when you get, or burn your hand when you're peeling up the paper when the water's hot. You just you lift up the paper. Like, the Japanese are fucking ingenious.
No. I love the fact that the first thing you said was, so you don't break a nail peeling back paper. Like, you've got some brutalized nails or something.
I've seen some weird people like that are like, I'm gonna break a nail trying to open this.
What is your fingernails made out of? Eggshell?
That's what I want to know.
I have to genuinely worry about your health as a human being if paper not even firmly glued to a foam cup breaks it.
Exactly.
You know, people are weird, man. Some people are weird. Like,
So-
I understood because, like, the heat. Like, I don't even eat cup of ramen, but I thought it was ingenious.
But you bought a cup of ramen fucking accessory.
I bought him because I wanted to add him to my action figure collection.
Look,
He's for a
she's
cup
just.
of ramen.
I mean,
It's her
dude,
basic.
I bought like original stuff from 2001 when they first released Inuyasha, and I have the school supplies that I'm refusing to open.
Look,
Well,
it
it's
is.
a
It
good
is
thing
her.
you're in school now that you could use them.
I'm not going
I'm
to.
going to.
It's part of my collection.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not
look,
ever opening these pencils.
it is her basic bitch anime that she loves to death, and she buys all the merchandise for.
As the person
Can't
who
make fun of
watches
my
Naruto.
Evangelion love anymore.
Oh,
I
I can.
actually-
I 100%
Okay.
can make fun of Evangelion.
You bought something you will never use.
100%. Bought it. Have no regrets.
Yeah, like I said, let us not pretend that we don't all have our animes and stuff that others
do
would
have
mock
devices.
for. Yeah. And so we should not mock others for theirs.
No, I just thought it was weird when it was sitting in her head that she told me it was for cup of noodles. I didn't even. Well, I should have been surprised because we had the cup of noodle on this episode that was a model kit. Like,
Yeah.
I guess Japan loves their cup of noodles.
They really
Oh,
do.
yeah,
Like,
it is.
you can
really
literally
do.
walk into a convenience store and they have, like, at least 80 different, like, cup of noodle brands.
Yeah. It's like, do you know how much not food we get in the United States? We are limited to what corporations say we can have. And yet, there are so many flavors of Kit Kats. Kit Kats
I know.
alone. That, like, we don't even get. We're not even allowed to have.
Like,
So,
Welcome to the show, everybody.
like,
Yeah.
well, I
Hey.
think it's funny. So just imagine how much more random shit like this I'm gonna come home with when I go to Japan for 2 weeks over the summer.
Yeah, we've already made plans with her. Like, she's taking money with her. 3 sets of extra luggage.
Like, I've already added, like, so I found out I don't have to fly with the class, so I've already added, like, an extra 2 days to go from Osaka to Tokyo, just to go to Tokyo Disneyland and Universal, just to buy weirder anime stuff that they only sell in the theme parks.
Okay, so you just upped the budget I'm going to have to send you.
Exactly,
You should go
because
to Tokyo
Tokyo Disneyland is about the villains. Like, they have hot dudes that recruit you for the villains. Like, smoking hot, this is a trap, dudes. Like, the ones that make you think they're Sebastian from Black Butler.
Smoking hot. This is a trap, dudes. Like,
They're traps. Like, holy shit. It should be illegal for you to be that cute in a suit.
okay, that's a good way to put hot people.
I'm just thinking of someone did a humanized version of Scar.
They
And the
have
guy-
him in the park.
And the guy could grade cheese on his chest, like a fine powder. The man is ripped,
Like,
and he'll walk up to you and go, "I'm surrounded by idiots," and you're like, "Yes."
melt me with your mouth, sir.
I can't.
Gavin,
This
just
is
imagine,
just
I'm
starting.
gonna take pictures of all these hot anime guys that are in real life. I'm just gonna send you hot guys. Like, hey Gavin, check this dude out.
You know,
Send me
I
some
tried
too.
that
Come on.
stupid Twin Face app today that's supposed to turn your face into anime. Did not work. I
See,
swear
and
to God.
I have the best ones of like me and Dorian, and then I got a fantastic one of Jeffrey, because he was half asleep, and I was like, hey Jeffrey. And he turns around and he goes, so his face is just
I should have saved it. I swear to God, one of them turned me into Excel from Excel Saga.
Hail
I
El
don't know.
Palazzo!
I don't know how it did it. Because I took a picture
What I
of
want
her.
to do is,
and it just
I want to
was
get some of.
disjointed.
I
And
want to
just
get
was
some
like,
of our
"Got it."
anime.
And it was like Excel Saga.
I want to get some of our anime. I want to get some of our anime voice actor friends that we have and have them do the filter just to see what they, it's like. And this is who
Jessica's
you
was
voice.
hilarious.
I have not seen
Yeah.
Jessica's.
Yeah, Jessica
A
posted
lot of
hers
them
and
are
her
just-
thing.
A lot of them are janky. Like, it doesn't work right. Like, if you turn your head, which is what I did
Yeah.
for my first one, it's like 3 different images and it doesn't work.
So I haven't had an issue with it. If I do it with my hair in a bun, it turns me into a weird hot anime dude. Like my first one, I looked like CL from Black Butler.
It's a trap.
Yeah, and so when I took the other ones off, when I put my hair down, I turned like the first one I looked like the typical anime mom. And then the next one I did, I was like, holy shit, I'm the love interest in like a weird reverse harem.
No, wait. When you say you were a weird anime mom, are you saying
I was
Deku
the
mom or Bakugos? Are you saying Bakugo mom?
So I wish I was as hot as Mitsuki. No, I was like the typical like because my hair is brown and I had it in a little side ponytail. I look like the Ulrich's mom, and I'm like, oh god, I'm the mom that dies in anime.
Avenge me! It's a trap.
And just
Don't lose your arm and a leg.
If you like alchemy, clap your hands.
Okay, so let's get the show on the road. Can we just all agree that we just don't like BuzzFeed?
I mean, I don't even look at BuzzFeed anymore.
Look,
I think
there are
was
two
Harley
mains.
that I was on the phone with this week, and they did that as one of those only true Disney fans will understand this quiz.
Oh yes.
We did like 30 seconds. I think the dumbest people work there because they literally throw the lowest IQ stuff up there.
They really do.
And I shared a list with you, and there's 2 major glaring problems with this list.
I hated it.
I know, right? It's
I didn't
their
even look at it.
ranking of live-action Disney movies from animated movies. So we're going to start this, okay? Because I want to see where we agree. Or we're going to go on 1 and make our way to 13. So number 1 was Cinderella. Agree or disagree?
I hated it. Disagree. I hated Cinderella.
I disagree.
I called you Courtney Cassandra?
I disagree because I have my opinion of what number 1 is.
I really like Cinderella. I don't think
But it's not number 1 worthy. Like,
it's
okay,
not
so
number 1 worthy.
I don't like Cinderella in general as a story. I never liked her as the animated princess. Just found her annoying to me.
I'm the exact opposite. Cinderella's one of my favorites.
Like, see, and Beauty and the Beast was always mine. But, I mean, my thing is I liked the live-action Cinderella, but I think I liked it for the sole fact of Helena Bonham Carter was a blonde and in a white poofy dress.
See, that's funny because that's Phil's worst part. He hates the drunken, floozy fairy godmother.
Oh, no, I love it. I'm like, yes.
He also hates the styling. He says it's not era-specific. I was like...
Yeah, what? It's not era-specific. I'm sorry.
It also bothered me that they did Lavender Dilly Dilly as the song.
So number 2 was Beauty and the Beast.
I feel like that should be number 1.
Simply
I always think Beauty and the Beast.
Well, it's not just that. I love Cinderella, but there's not much you can do with it. They added more to Beauty and the Beast, and it was a very beautiful, elaborate movie. No matter what you think of it.
Like, no, I love the movie. It's a beautiful movie. I was, as a Beauty and the Beast fangirl, it was everything I dreamed of and a little bit more. It made more sense. It explained why people randomly couldn't see a giant fucking castle that has been there their entire lives. It did bother me that they made Adam, look older than he should have been, when he was put under the curse, because I'm sorry, he's a 10 or 11-year-old boy.
We're not going to that conversation again.
I know. You disagree, but I'm right.
Oh, Cassandra, so do you agree? Should this be number 2, number 1?
No, I agree. This totally should be number 2 because it did everything. What Beauty and the Beast did was what you guys just said. It gave people a reason to not go, well, I have the animated version on any other media. Why the hell should I go see this? What makes me want to go see this? And they said, well, we're going to give you more of the events around that world. Like,
True.
and they did a really good job of it.
The only thing I really hated were the household objects designs. I don't know how you go so
really
far.
fucking weird.
Like, it was just ugly.
I seen that movie, and I went in knowing. I knew the minute they said they're going to do a live action adaptation of this movie, I was like, either the servants of the house are going to be okay, it makes sense, that looks right, or it's going to be like, I'm going to tolerate this just enough, and it was kind of in the middle, but yeah, it was no.
The only
no
person's design that bugged the shit out of me was, of course, Mrs. Potts. And I think I'm just butthurt because it wasn't Angela Lansbury and it was Emma Thompson.
Biggest travesty of that movie, Angela Lansbury was still alive. They didn't dare recast Mufasa, but they said Angela Lansbury
said, like, she even was asked, hey, did you get asked if you wanted to be Mrs. Potts again? And she was like, no, I wasn't asked if I wanted to be Mrs. Potts. That is the biggest travesty. Oh, I'm also pissed off that they cut off Monsieur Toilet.
Oh my god. All right. Number 3, Jungle Book. Agree or disagree? Cassandra.
I agree. I actually liked Christopher Walken as they. I also liked the musical numbers, so I was fine with it.
Harley.
It's still not the original story.
No, this was much, like, I put this one below Cinderella, and that, mostly was Christopher Walken as King
I'm
Louis.
on the same boat. Because
I also
the only musical number was Christopher Walken
Trust
singing.
in Me.
No, Trust in Me and...
The best number was Scarlett Johansson as Ka.
Yeah. Worst, Christopher Walken. I want to be like you.
And then the freaking, like, slowed down version of Bill Murray doing Baloo.
See, and that's the other reason I loved it, was because Bill Murray is Baloo. I mean, Bill Murray as Baloo.
Well, Bill Murray was Baloo, but my problem was Bill Murray can't sing.
Neither can Christopher Walken. I liked what they added to it. I only watched it once, and it was just because I was going to avoid it. But I don't think it's number 3. Because here's where, the people who made this list have no IQ. Maleficent is number 4. Maleficent's not even on this list.
Like, that's sad.
And
like,
if you're going to put it on this list, it's very close to number 1.
Yeah. Because Maleficent is a really good... Like, I actually liked Maleficent. I enjoyed it. It was
the reason I say it doesn't belong on this list is this is adapted from an animated movie. Maleficent is a completely original story.
Yeah, they took the characters, but they didn't,
They did what they did with it. It was not Sleeping Beauty.
No.
So the fact that they put this on this list...
so... Hold on, do I get a say in this one?
Yes.
Okay, so my thing is, like, you notice I stopped for a second, because the reason I did, because my number 1 would have been Maleficent. Like, the fact that writers made fun of Disney itself, like how people will, vanilla and beauty up the the good guys, and make the bad guys even more evil, and like all that stuff, and the big battle at the end. It's like, it should have been like Maleficent, and it would be like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but
See,
like
I'm
you're doing
still
a
Beauty and the
list
Beast
of
and then
live
Maleficent.
action animated movies. Maleficent's not on there.
No, it's not, because it's not based off of an animated thing, except as a prequel.
Yeah,
Even then, it's not even a
it's
prequel
iffy.
anymore.
It's closer to the. I mean, it's closer to the real story than anything else.
I mean, it's like
It's,
I put it in the same school as like Snow White and the Huntsman, like a nice alternative version.
Those are badass movies.
I didn't
Both
watch
of
either
those are
of them.
badass movies.
I
But-
refuse.
No, you should. They're actually really good.
Yeah, it's someone's dark D&D campaign starring the Snow White cast.
So you know they're really brain dead because number 5 on the list is Lion King. That belongs on the very end.
That's 14.
That belongs
I know the list is
under the
13 long.
ground.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't watch it, and I still refuse.
you all know how I feel about it.
You mean the
Very
fact that you will
vocal.
burn down your house, and if anyone ever brought a copy and put it on your television,
Yes,
you will
we
destroy
not be
your
friends
television?
until you bring this into my house.
I don't think I'm gonna be able
So
to
then,
get it without a
But
tracker.
But wait, okay. What was their defense? I kind of want to know, what was their reasoning behind this?
have
Because
Beyonce.
Dave
I
Earl
think that
Jones.
was the reason. It's BuzzFeed. They don't have a reason.
Okay.
So number 6, they put Mulan, which I've heard nothing but bad things about.
I've heard
nothing.
fantastic things.
I've heard bad things.
People haven't even fucking watched it. They're butthurt. It doesn't have Mushu, and they're butthurt. They don't sing "I'll make a man out of you."
No.
Because
Okay.
it's also from kids that I know that are my family, that they didn't grow up with Mulan the way they did. They're new to it, but my niece told me it's missing something. It's pretty, but that's about
It's
it.
because people went into this the same way they went into Lion King, or I'm sorry, with Aladdin. They were expecting one thing, because of the nostalgia, and they can't get over the fact that it's not what they are used to.
I disagree
Aladdin
with.
gave you what you're used to.
No,
Give you,
people are still pissed off and butthurt and refuse to watch it because Will Smith is the genie.
I
That's
have
an
to say
impossible
this:
role.
the fact that movie only made $5 million should tell you that not even in China would watch this movie. Like, there are people who like, hey, I am a Chinese major. This is what the culture I study. I am from China, and they're like, this is absolute garbage. This is they're finding it an insult to China, including the Legend of Mulan. Like,
They're
I haven't
also
seen it.
like I haven't watched it just because I'm waiting. But there are also people boycotting it for China,
Yeah.
because somebody that worked on the movie said something
the
insensitive
main actress
about how
the main-
they're she's supporting.
She's not
the
supporting
Chinese government
Taiwan.
or something.
She's
Yeah.
supporting the Chinese government on the abduction of Taiwanese citizens.
Yes.
They politicized it, and when you step out of that, like I said, with my niece telling me that, and these other adults I know that like Disney, they're to the point where like it's disposable, not like the cartoon ones.
I
It's
also
like,
heard
so for
they try to
me,
make it the
I'm
Matrix.
I'm not gonna pass judgment until I watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna find a fault in it because it's got Danny Ann in it. But
Yeah,
still.
I'm the same way, so I can't really judge this one yet, but we will. But I can judge number 7. Their number 7 is 101 Dalmatians. This deserves to be much higher on the list.
I
very
loved
close.
this movie as a kid.
Nailed it.
Like,
And
it took me
they
this
put that-
long. It took me up until like 2 or 3 years ago to realize that Dr. House and Arthur Weasley were the bad guys.
How do you put this behind Lion King, BuzzFeed? Are you blind?
Until what?
Okay, I have
Because
an
it's old.
explanation. I have an explanation for everything that is a mistake on this list, and I will explain it when we get to the end of the list.
Okay, so let's get through this.
But yes,
So number 8
that movie
is
should be like 3.
Number 8 is another reason why you know they're brain dead. They put Christopher Robin on here.
Wow.
That is like a sequel to Winnie the Pooh. That's just kind of fun, but it's not this list. Then number 9 is Aladdin.
Tree.
Number 10 is Alice. Travis Steve's that late.
Fuck off.
12 is Lady and the Tramp. And 13 is Dumbo.
Watch.
You are not telling me
no.
Lady and the Tramp is better than Dumbo.
I didn't watch The Lady and Tramp, but I did watch Dumbo, and Dumbo was fantastic.
It was fucking fantastic. I've tried to watch Lady and the Tramp. I can't finish it. So their list is dumb. Like, okay, Aladdin, I will agree with kind of where it's at because I was one of those who was very hesitant to watch it because Aladdin is very near and dear to me, just like Little Mermaid. It was hard for me to watch Will Smith because he just kind of talk raps everything with no real emotion.
And I liked it because he didn't try to be Robin Williams.
Well,
I appreciated it more.
You can't be Robin Williams. But what they could have done was cast the one who did it on Broadway. That was an amazing
I do like that guy, but he said he didn't want to do it anymore.
You could have found someone like that, and I think it would have been okay. But I also think
the guy who's just currently doing it on Broadway, who's doing a really solid job.
All right, so Pocky, Cassandra, tell me your reasons for this list.
The reasons for this list is the reason we're doing it right now. BuzzFeed totally relies on other media types and people who have reactions to things to go, holy fucking shit, did you see this bullshit BuzzFeed released? What bullshit BuzzFeed released? Let me send you a link to this bullshit that BuzzFeed just released. Holy shit,
You're
this
right.
is BuzzFeed. We're talking about this list. People are going to go look up this list and give them clicks and views. We gave them
have to because we just went over the list.
Yeah.
I didn't even open it. I refused.
Yeah, because I was just going to run down and go over with you. But if you're going to make a list, at least be responsible and real behind it. Don't just throw shit on a wall and be like, okay, look, here's... And yeah, no. I did that quiz with Harley. It was a joke.
No. You don't understand. They are doing it on purpose. They did all the controversial movies up front. They did all the ones that they knew fans loved, and they put them in the back. The exact reason they did it. The only ones they kept up front was so people would go, that's not bad. I can kind of see maybe where they're going with this. But then when you're getting like the ones that like even the critics, everyone, even the fans hated, and they put it so high up on the list, it was to purposely cause clicks and hits and links and conversations. Because as we both, all three of us know, what does sponsors care about? They care about how much that counter moves forward.
Clickbait.
Right. Well, there was a whole lot of conversations on this link.
And that's why
I agree with you.
That's also why I watch. Yeah. That's why I also refuse to watch Mojo bullshit. Because Watch Mojo, every time I watch Mojo bullshit, it pisses me off, and I have to I don't know, build something. Because that's when I do it, I get pissed off.
I will find myself watching 5 at a time on YouTube on my TV going, what the hell is this?
The top 10 best anime theme songs of all time. And I'm like, where's I don't know, Speed Racer? Oh, it's on the list.
Because it's too old.
And I love their honorable mentions before they get to number one. It's like, that's all the good stuff, y'all.
Yeah, no, it's like they didn't put it. It's like, no, it is pure, utter. I call it the bullshit echo effect. It's, I can't believe this is bullshit. What is bullshit? And then you tell somebody what bullshit is, and it gets echoed back because they can't believe it either.
I just think that the fact that they put the two Tim Burton ones so far down is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I love these lists though because I'm like, you guys are dumb. There are people who make good lists, and there are people who make bad lists.
And the good lists don't get clicks.
They don't get clicks.
Since we're on Disney, and I saw this earlier, and I forgot to put it in the chat, I'm going to say it right now, because I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts nerd. Sometimes I like to think about how if all the Disney bullshit didn't happen at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora, Riku, and Kaoru would all probably just be dead at sea, because their entire emergency stock of rations consisted of 2 coconuts.
Because we didn't do it in the time limit.
I would also like to point out, for those who are interested, Games Pass for Xbox has the Kingdom Hearts 3 and 2.8, whatever the big edition is.
Everybody needs to get Kingdom Hearts. Play it. You poor Xbox people need to play it.
Did I send you Kingdom Hearts sub-subs they're making?
Yes. Yes.
I saw those, and I was like, Carly. And
Carly has to have them.
Of course she does.
I just want to know where the... Never mind, we're not going to go there yet.
Go there.
I wonder now where the Kingdom Hearts port parody is.
They have them everywhere.
No, the video one.
Go look at Pornhub. There are people.
Wood Rocket hasn't officially done one yet. I need Wood Rocket to do a port parody of...
Can I just say, I don't
people
expect
doing
anything less
cosplay
out of Harley. I called her the other day, and she's in her car telling me, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm driving, listening to my creepy porn stories. I was like, no, wait,
I'm
what was the
listening
term
to
you
Anita
used?
Blake in the car. My
you used a different
paranormal.
term.
It's a paranormal porno.
Yeah, I'm listening to paranormal porn. I'm going to send you some. I was like, please don't.
I'm going to send you
I just
all
have
of
a
the
question
Anita
about
Blake
glue.
books. I'm going to send you all the Anita Blake books. It's so good.
Anyways, let's keep talking about media. Did y'all see that they canceled, just as it won awards, the Dark Crystal series on Amazon?
Don't get me fucking started.
Apparently,
so mad.
they were disappointed in the series overall. I was like, did we not watch the same thing?
And I was like, yeah, we obviously all didn't watch the same thing.
Like, I don't understand when people want to, and especially people who make it, don't understand what you have. You told a very high-concept fantasy series with puppets.
It'll get picked up on Amazon, I guarantee it.
Well, I'm hoping it goes to Amazon or HBO or something, because I really like these HBO Max series. I'm very on board with them.
Yeah, I guarantee you with Amazon doing a lot of, like, new show, well, I guess it's not new, but, like, doing Carnival Row and stuff, they'll pick it up.
Also, they've got that new Simon Pegg, Nick Frost series I'm kind of interested in watching called Truth Seekers. It's about some guys who stopped the end of the world and now they become cable installers because that's all they can do in life.
Yeah, they'll pick it up real quick.
And so, it makes me question because they canceled that Jim Henson series. Muppets Now was just subpar. And the only thing that's actually kind of enjoyable that they've got going on is Earth to Ned, which I don't know if you watched on Disney Plus. Go watch it. It's kind of like what they should be doing with Muppets, because the whole concept is this alien is sent to destroy the world. It's his job, but he likes Earth, so he decides he wants to be a night show talk host. So he abducts guests into his ship to talk to him, but he's completely fucking clueless. Yeah.
He's you mixed with Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Well, yeah, one of the games he plays with them is mimics famous animals, but they're all like fucking aliens no one's ever heard of before. So he and his sidekick are going to town, and they have these things called crudes. They got like tentacle legs. They're awesome.
So it's basically the newest edition of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, but it's
instead of
family, so anybody can watch it. But it's got that adult edge to it.
Early since where she is.
So again, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, but with puppets. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's what
It's gotta be better than the new That's So Raven.
Ew.
All I heard was That's So Raven.
Oh no, I said it's got to be better than the new sequel to That's So Raven, which I had to watch 2 hours of earlier.
So,
Cassandra.
My thought is my hope is that they said, hey, we started looking at the storyboards for season 2, and it's like, we're not happy where this is going, but I'm like, even then, just fucking produce it. You have people watching it. But my worry is that they're measuring everything by by how much a cultural phenomenon it has to be. Like, if you're not making, if Netflix is looking at everything, like, you have to be the Stranger Things movement. Like how Stranger Things basically caused a movement. Like, the whole retro 80s movement thing was because of it, basically. Or a large part of it was because of it. And it's like, I'm wondering if they're just measuring everything by that sort of mentality. Like,
That
if
would be
you
really
don't.
sad.
So as
Well,
the
yeah.
person who used to work for Netflix, yes, they're looking for the next Orange is the New Black. They're looking for things that are going to run copious seasons and be stupid fucking popular and sell merchandise. And while Dark Crystal would have sold plenty of merchandise, it just wasn't moving fast enough for them. Like, I'm trying to wondering what they're going to do. Like, we sat down and watched Camp Cretaceous, and I'm wondering what they're gonna do with this, because not only did they leave this on a big cliffhanger, is they took some really big ballsy moves for being a kid's show.
I heard that.
Like, I'm talking some ballsy ass shit for a kid's show.
Oh, you mean, so basically they did stuff like we would have watched during the 80s? Or the
This
early 90s.
would have been, so this takes place, it starts 2 days before Jurassic World starts, and then it ends before Jurassic World ends, or like right after Jurassic World ends, when all the boats leave.
And I don't like that philosophy. I like Stars' philosophy. If we're going to give you at least 2 seasons to find your footing and go, I think that's a better approach, because if you just, like, how many good things have we lost on Netflix? We've lost Dark Crystal. We lost Daybreakers. Sabrina. Well, Sabrina, I think, had a good run.
Well, Sabrina said they had 2 more seasons to go, and they even told Netflix they had 2 more seasons.
Did anyone
get picked
watch
up somewhere.
the Fast and Furious cartoon?
No, I refused. I hate the movies, so.
Okay,
I saw the
you can't
premise, and I saw the premise of it, and I was like, it reminded me of James Bond Jr., where you took an adult concept, you were like, how can we make this kid friendly? And I'm like, oh, you did that.
It's like, how can you make Jurassic Park kid friendly?
And they may or may not. I mean, Jurassic Park is well enough known, and people are all talking about that season finale, which I did read about today. Which is actually,
know what I'm talking about. That's kind of ballsy.
Super fucked up.
That's super fucking ballsy.
Yeah,
I know that I know that they're selling the toys for it. I saw some of the toys.
I know they sell kids' toys for Jurassic Park. Kids are always about dinosaurs.
Yeah,
but I mean, that was like, had I been a child and watched that, like, the original Jurassic Park, I had nightmares about the Velociraptors for weeks as a kid.
Well, and also, I love the original Jurassic Park toys because they had parts of the dinosaur you could bite off, and they had, like, bones and stuff underneath. Like, I love those toys.
Yeah, like, I'm totally cool with them, but, like, I have to think of this as a perspective as a parent now versus Jurassic Park is my shit.
Wasn't that fun when you realized that?
Right, it was so gross when I thought about that earlier when I finished the show. I was like, oh, I would not let my kids watch this. I mean, my 3-year-old cheers when the Velociraptors try to eat the kids in the first movie.
He is his mother's child.
I know.
Okay,
every time he sees them, he cheers.
The first time Brett watched Halloween, he was cheering for Michael Myers, laughing, going, trying to pick
So
Steffi.
Dory's a Chucky fan.
My kid was a Michael Myers fan.
Yeah, he's got a little pair of overalls, and he puts his little red shoes on, and he goes to the kitchen and he gets a butter knife and walks after people.
Okay, yeah.
Good, right, y'all?
So this
what this show is all about.
I just want to let you know that, like, one day we're all going to be on ID television, and they're going to be talking about Dory.
Sorry, I've already done that. I have that on my IMDb, sir. I was already on an investigation discovery TV show. Thank you.
but I think really Netflix is like, I think it's going to eventually bite them in the ass because what Netflix had as an advantage back when like it was just like season 1 of Stranger Things and a couple of their shows was nobody else is doing anything original or concept at all. Like Amazon wasn't around doing any original stuff. Crunchyroll wasn't around. Yes, Crunchyroll wasn't around doing any original stuff. I didn't remember it was Crunchyroll Funimation.
I had
Like,
a clapping for
Showtime-
Crunchyroll today.
But like all these companies weren't making original products, so Netflix could get away with maybe not caring as much, but now they really need to start worrying about their product line and not canceling a show once they get people addicted to it.
It's like that's what I'm afraid they're gonna do with B-Stars and shit.
Yeah,
You've got
they
all
already
these
announced
anime
Beastars is
nerds.
in there.
Yeah, I was like, you've already got all these anime nerds hooked on these animes, and now they're gonna take them away. I mean, they're gonna get aired other places. It's not a big deal. Funimation and Crunchyroll will pick them up. Like, today it was announced that the Inuyasha sequel, Yashahime, is going to not only air on some anime channel on YouTube, but it's also getting picked up by Funimation and Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's going to be on all sides. Basically, they're not going to put this everywhere.
They're
they can
smart.
They're
fucking smart about this.
And I guarantee you next mid-season or next season on Toonami, they're going to announce it's like going to be replacing some other show or going to be added into the line. Yeah. So,
Well,
I mean, it's the nostalgia factor.
yeah.
I just think that if you're Netflix and you own some properties that could potentially pay out, you invest them. Daybreakers could have paid out massively. Dark Crystal, massively.
It's kind of like the Mist TV show. And I don't remember who had it, but they fucked that all to shit and back.
Well, they've already done it. I mean, they got an Emmy award-winning show and canceled it right after it got its award. It's like, thank you for the award. Now please leave.
Yeah,
I
mean,
also have to wonder how much of it is just because of this year, because so much has been scaled back. No one is seeing anything. Like they announced today, Black Widow's coming out next year, despite the fact all the merchandise is already hit.
Yeah.
How does that work? If all your merchandise is already out, you can't do the merchandise push for the movie. So they're just gonna push it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just put something else up.
Yeah, I mean, they probably had like 2 or 3 years worth of Black Widow merchandise. Hell, they still were releasing like a year or two after fucking Justice League and the Avenger movies came out, Justice League and Avenger toys, for a movie that already, like was on the bargain bin at a DVD or Blu-ray collection.
You'll never see Avengers on a bargain bin. You're smoking crack, Pocky.
Well, you know what I mean.
I mean, you can get all kinds of stuff. I mean, they're gonna keep pushing things. It's like they already put all the Wonder Woman merchandise out. Like, they've got full makeup lines for Wonder Woman.
Bravo on the cheetah design. I did not know how to pull it off.
It looks good.
Job. Yeah. You know what doesn't look good, Harley?
What?
Sandra? Do y'all feel old when American Doll says our new historical doll is the 80s doll?
Considering I wasn't born until 91, you guys are the old ones.
So I saw this and I was like, really? That's what you went with?
When they put up the 90s, when they put up the 90s and the 2000 doll, then I'll get offended.
Your 90s doll will happen in about 5 years. Okay. So, because the 90s kids are getting older now. So, I don't know. I get the arcade because the arcades, the 80s heyday was the arcades, but
yeah, you're right. Here's what I think. All the accessories, do these kids these days even know what Pac-Man is? Or any of the things she comes with?
Yeah, like, explain a Walkman to kids. Like, you had to carry, like, 2 or 3. You only had 12 songs.
They sell those dinosaurs at Walmart still, man.
Yeah, for old people like us that have cassettes.
I was just like, 80s. What are your other historical dolls? Like, tell me you didn't go from, like, Pilgrims and
I want to know something.
Ancient America to 80s.
Well, no, they had the 1930s, they had the 1940s, and the Great Depression.
What was the 1930s doll? The poverty doll with the pox?
Yes.
So they're all actually, a lot of them are based off of real people or real characters based off of books that were supposed to be inspirations to young girls. The actual girl from the Depression era is a girl who helped raise money for farmers in the 1930s. She lived actually a fairly decent.
Do you
Actually, someone.
My American Girl dolls?
No, I collect Forever High stuff. But no, I only know this because somebody was talking about like why don't they use real people and dolls, and someone goes, "Do you not know the story of the American Doll franchise?" And apparently, yeah, most of them are based off of real people, which is why the '80s doll was weird to me because I'm like, oh, who from the '80s were they going to pick up?
Nobody.
So what is it? American Girls.
I feel old now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm still entertained by that.
Shut up, Harley.
You old.
Oh wait, there is an American Girls. Oh, that's Barbie. Sorry, never mind. I was gonna say there has to be a '70s girl. If there's not a '70s girl, you skip straight to the '80s. You went '30s, '40s, '50s, '70s, '80s, and you went straight. You skip 30 years.
They just don't want to remember the hippie era. The colors were ugly. Everything was avocado green. Not to mention their horrible fashion sense.
Look, we're not talking about how your parents had their house designed, sir. We're talking about real '70s fashion.
It was ugly.
Hey, Gavin, I'm fixing to make you feel really, really old.
Oh, God.
There is apparently a '70s doll. Apparently there is a 1970s American doll.
Here,
there you
Harley,
go.
what is it?
Oh, no, I just sent it to you on Facebook.
So, but yeah, look up the actual story of the American Girls doll. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that in your head?
That. Yeah, we can hear the...
You've got mail. You've got mail.
You are not funny. You are not funny at all. All right.
I've got mail.
We got two more things to talk about. Let's rip the show up. What about this Gloomhaven comic, Cassandra?
It's so based off a bunch of the adventures from the Gloomhaven series. You get, for those who don't know what Gloomhaven is, I'll explain real fast. It is a board game. It is the sort of board game that you start playing and then 9 months later you finish. It's big. It's
giant box game.
It is an epic giant box game that even epic giant box game fans have to admit that they have a table in their house dedicated to that game because it literally takes weeks to play if you do it on a months to play if you do it on a weekly basis. It's a huge effing game, and they've turned one of the stories into a comic actually. The Jaws of the Lion, which is one of the big, it's one of the big fan adventures. I know that one. I haven't actually got an
expansion.
Yeah, it's a good expansion. It's one of their favorite stories. It's being published by One Shot Press. So it looks like it's going to be cool.
I'm
always
tired of the Gloomhaven fuss. I'm going to buy the game on Steam so I can, play the video game version.
Yeah, and you can actually pause and have a life afterwards.
Everything's always compared to Gloomhaven when this stuff comes out, and I'm like, there's better games, I'm sure, but Gloomhaven was just such a crazy thing. I wonder how long it'll last in gaming cultures. Like, will it be around for 4 or 5 generations? How many games do we have these days that'll do that? I mean, Monopoly's been around for, I don't know, ungodly amount of time.
Well, I mean,
what kind of games do we have now that are going to do that?
I'm going to say this: there's plenty. You just the thing about the board game industry is, unless you are a fans of this stuff and you go outside of what Milton Bradley owns, you'll find out. I mean, and I'm not meaning this a bad way toward you or anybody, but it's just like the Merchants of Venus, which is an incredibly old tabletop game. Has a newest edition. Hell, I own the newest edition of the Arkham game.
Arkham Horror, yeah.
Arkham Horror, and that game, that's the 4th or 5th edition of that game, and the original one looks really, really dated. Is the best way to describe it. It's not
like,
bad.
even
It's
as
just
a person, so I worked in a board game store, and I wasn't sure I was gonna like anything, because the last time I did play a board game, it was a Milton Bradley game.
True.
Or a Hasbro game. So, it was a weird culture shock for me for board games. I mean, unless you look at me now. I got caught going to Barnes & Nobles the other day and buying copious amounts of board games. Like,
I heard about that. We had a video.
I showed you a picture of my videos.
But
this one I'm most proud of now.
you're just glare. It's just glare.
I can see it. It's the Batman animated series Rogues Gallery game.
Nice.
I don't even
But I
know what
think-
the hell Rogues Gallery is, but it was Batman the animated series.
But so
I
my
think-
thing is, I think there is. I think what Gloomhaven did was Gloomhaven made a big ass game that got very, very popular. I don't think it didn't do anything new because Gavin, you and I have seen Fantasy Flight games and Descent and all these other ones. What it did was it got mainstream popular. It's like D&D. It got popular
Here's the
because
downside to that, though. Before I forget, that game is incredibly involved and
Yes.
giant.
yes, again,
So yes, people who don't like Harley, who was out of the gaming till she worked in the store. If that's your first look into what modern gaming is,
Oh no,
people
I
aren't
would have
going
been
to do it.
scared away.
They're
No, fuck
scared
that.
away.
I'm not. It's kind of like why I have issues with D&D campaigns. I can't get into them because they're long, drawn out, and you have to swap people out, and you have to stop playing to get new people in, or you just have to stop playing till everybody else is available, and you just lose interest.
So like Catan is a game that's perfect. That'll be generational.
Catan, Carcassonne. Carcassonne.
I have-
Wood for Sheep.
Is
I have
Catan the
Star
Wood
Wars
for
version
Sheep
of that.
game?
Yes,
Yes.
Wood for
Wood for
Sheep.
Sheep.
Catan.
Wood for
Yes.
I mean, actually, well, anyways.
No, I've never played.
So
I just know Wood for
I
Sheep.
like the idea that Gloomhaven made all these waves, but it also started setting a weird standard for all these new games that are coming out. I think Nemesis is kind of a good middle point.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Gloomhaven. I just came up with an analogy in my head. Gloomhaven is to board games what Dragon Ball the franchise is to anime. A lot of people will get introduced to it, but if you tell someone, by the way, Goku turning Super Saiyan, which is what everyone would know, that's like episode 200. That's not counting if you count Dragon Ball, which is adding another 400 or 500 episodes. So if you want to get there, you
It's only
can.
150.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it
not
could
even a
be.
good analogy.
No, it's a good analogy because if someone wants to get into board games and they look at Gloomhaven and you look at Dragon Ball Z, if you want to get into anime, that's where a lot of people start, and it's
That's
a lot
two
of episodes.
completely different things. You could just watch a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z and never you'll like it. If you don't know about gaming and the first thing someone shows you is Gloomhaven, you ain't got time for
I'd
that
have
shit.
walked away. Yeah, no.
You
I've
show
had
them
people.
something
I
like
watched
Catan.
people pull that stuff out, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
You show them
But also
Everdell.
this,
You
also
show
I have
some
to
more
say this.
mid-range games. That's how you get them into it. So I think Gloomhaven being what everybody knows is not a good thing.
I also have to say this. If your first experience with board games is someone whipping out Gloomhaven and going, hey, we're going to play this. This is going to be your first experience. They are horrible people.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
It's like somebody
The difference
pulling
is-
out Risk.
Right.
I happen to
if-
like Risk.
If I was like, hey, I want to introduce you to board gaming, and you're like, what are we going to play? I might go, you know what? We're going to play Lords and Ladies of Waterdeep. That's easy. It's light. It has
That's
a
the
timer.
expansion of the Lords of Waterdeep.
Well, I always call it Lords and Ladies of Waterdeep, but Lords of Waterdeep, and then there's
It's the house rule.
Well, I only call it because of that because it's like it's supposed to be Lords and Ladies.
You
Because
completely
it's
confuse
even in
me.
the instruction. No. Even in the instructions manual, it says Lords and Ladies of Waterdeep. I'm like, why did you just call it that? Even in your instruction
Because
manual,
it's
you call it that.
convoluted. Because it's convoluted.
Well,
Because it includes women. You
keeping
can't include women in
game
gaming.
talk. When you talk about generational games, I think when we come to the eras of evolving, there was one game that I can guarantee you is on the top of everyone's list as their gateway game is Hero Quest. That was a
Never
Milton
played.
Bradley Games Workshop game.
Didn't play.
I'm going to say
Gateway to
no,
most people.
no.
Yes.
The answer is
you go look
no.
at what the majority of people's gateway from your basic Milton Bradley game into games like Games Workshop and D&D and things like that. 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you it's Hero Quest.
I just looked at all the
I know
cute
that wasn't
figures
for
on the
everybody.
wall. I looked at the cute figures on the wall. I was like, man, I like these figures. What do these do? What do these go to?
This was before gaming was a big industry. Everyone has a different gateway game, but if you go to like any of these game conventions and talk to people, they're going to tell you Hero Quest was people of our age at least, Courtney, Cassandra and I's age, not so much Harley's, because we grew up in a time where you had those Milton Bradley quick play games. It was Monopoly or nothing, and it was when things started changing, and you had the Avalon Hill board games and stuff like that. And for years, like you cannot find a copy of Hero Quest for less than $500 in a beat up condition.
Yeah, that bounty gave me no.
And there was a mysterious timer on HeroScape.com that counted down to Hasbro and Avalon Hill
Because
crowdfunding a brand new version.
my
Of course, I'm on board. It
course you are.
exploded yesterday, Tuesday. So I'm really excited about that.
I guess you're gonna make me play this on a TV show, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll see why. It's not complicated, but it introduces complicated features.
As long as it's not like that robot game Jill keeps trying to make me play, where you change
what,
the board
Robo Rally?
directions. Yes.
That just takes critical thinking.
I mean, I'm great with critical thinking, but she wants me to play it like on the spot all the time, and I'm like, I don't know.
No. This one's very easy to pick up and play, and this is a good, if you're going to bring someone to the board gaming world, this is a good one. Everdell's a good one. The ones Cassandra talked are good ones.
Red Dragon Inn's a good
Bro.
one, but I like the card games.
Yeah. You guys had me play that one where you're killing people alive. Guillotine.
I love Guillotine. It's such a good
Yes.
game.
Stuff like that. Things that people
I-
get you to know that you can go beyond Monopoly and Scrabble. So I'm really excited. It's weird doing the Hasbro Pulse crowdfunding over Kickstarter.
Don't pay you.
They don't have. It's just a weird system. I don't know why they didn't go with Kickstarter, but whatever. So obviously, Hero Quest wasn't your gateway drug, Cassandra. It was yours.
Oh, my big gateway drug into non thing was Baker Street, 221 Baker
I can
Street,
see that
which was I that's where I got introduced to the idea of a board game being a mystery game. But I have to say this, I can see where you say like it was a lot of people's, because it was also made by a company that was trying to promote a higher end board game. But you gotta also remember Merchants of Venus, Catan, Carcassonne, all these other games.
They were all
existed
overseas.
No,
I do not think Catan was out at the time when Hero Quest was out. It was completely different because it was followed by Dark World and Castle Siege. Like there are all these other ones that had like 3D boards and stuff, but they just weren't the same. I love Dark World. I loved the whole series of that. That was a lot of fun. But they were still made for you're not spending all day. We can play Hero Quest in about 30 minutes, depending on how we want to go. But those games like Catan and other ones, they weren't over here yet.
Actually,
We had
Where's
those weird
the-
Avalon Hill board games that had like the Starship Troopers RPG. I played Dragon Hunt. That was one of my favorite games. You had those those games like Katana that were in the Avalon Hill board games, those bookcase games, but they weren't the same.
I don't know. I mean, I can agree with you that for maybe a lot of people, because also it was in Toys R Us. I remember being in Toys R Us and seeing it all over the effing place. But I don't know. I mean, it is a weird.
You're thinking Hero Escape, not Hero
No,
Quest.
I'm thinking Hero Quest
They did
also.
not
'cause I remember-
sell Hero Quest at the time of Hero Escape. Bitch, you're talking to a Hero Quest fanatic over here. You're not going to
Right. I'm telling you, I remember as a kid seeing Hero Quest.
Oh,
you know,
I thought you were talking about when you worked at Toys R Us like I did.
No, when I was a kid. God damn, child, listen to me. And Merchants of Venus came out in '88, by the way. It's actually here. By the way, Merchants of Venus came out in '88, and it was also
Where?
Avalon Hill.
Here overseas. Oh, yeah.
Here, and it was also Avalon
That was
Hill.
one of those bookcase games, wasn't it?
No, it's a very simple light board game. It's just
Anyways.
it takes a long time because you are merchants. You are literally trying to sell and trade. Or it's Monopoly, but in space, sort of. Not really.
So, anyways, that's been it for this week's show. We're excited for you guys. You'll probably see some videos of me and Harley at her house because I got to get some crafts made. She's going to laugh at me.
I'm already laughing.
Okay. I've been in here yesterday to ask, do I have the right kind of glue to glue fabric? She's like, you can just use glue. I'm overthinking this shit.
You are. Like, I could have given you, like, 1,000,006 different types of glue. Just get glue, Gavin. Just don't use a glue stick. Don't use
I was going to use a glue stick.
It's not going to work. Hot glue. E6000.
I've got regular glue. I've got super glue. We're going to figure this out.
I mean, they're resin, right?
It's for the felt hat.
But it's a felt hat going on the resin.
Yeah.
Then just use resin glue.
I gotta go Hobby Lobby.
Kevin, somehow you both simultaneously overthought and underthought at the same time. You you overly complicated and didn't think how?
Because my problem is I go to Hobby Lobby and I'm overwhelmed. I have the list of things I need to get, and it adapts into more things. So I forget some of the things I'm supposed to get. I was supposed to look at like glue. So I got everything but glue, and I got holes like fuck.
Well, there's your first problem. You said Hobby Lobby.
I love Hobby Lobby.
Hey, Hobby Lobby has shit that I can't get anywhere else. So unfortunately, I stick with Hobby Lobby. When you a crafter, you get it where you can get it.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's cheaper than Michael's. I don't have a Joanne anywhere near me, and there's a 40% off coupon any fucking thing you buy every week. So.
And they use competitors' coupons too. They all do.
Yeah, I don't always agree with Hobby Lobby, but you know what? I got to be a crafter on a budget, y'all.
Sometimes you do. You go to the greater evil to get your craft project done, because you become the greater evil if your craft project isn't done.
Oh, you will see. I got to finish these 4 of us for Christmas, and I got to ship some of them. All right, that's it for this week's show. We'll be back with you guys next week. Don't forget, tomorrow is a brand new Super Gamer Bros. And then next Tuesday, the Red Web will be back. We had to take a week off for some personal issues.
And yes,
and then,
well, they actually know why. He's not. Brad is getting better. Everyone should know Brad is getting better.
He's getting better, but that's not for us to talk about.
Yeah.
And then soon, I'm excited because I'm actually starting a Destiny show. Finally! So I wasn't busy enough already. I'm just really excited about that.
Yeah,
at some
Harley.
point in time, you'll see Harley and Jill. She's
We'll be
like,
here.
yeah, whatever.
We'll be here.
So that's it. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You guys are so fucking lame. Bye, everybody.